Hello and welcome to Module 5 on drilling operations. In this module, we'll look at 7 key areas. First, we'll look at the stages of drilling. Here, we'll look at the differences between exploration drilling, appraisal drilling, and production drilling. Next, we'll move on to the drilling rig. We'll look at the various drilling rigs available for both onshore and offshore drilling operations. We'll also look at the 3 main components of a drilling rig, that's the derrick, the drill string, and the drilling mud system. Next, we'll move on to drilling fluids. Here we'll establish that despite its name, it's a sophisticated fluid with 5 specific purposes. We'll also look at drill bits, we'll look at mill tooth, insert, diamond compact, and hybrid drill bits. In our 5th area, we'll look at the drilling process itself. Here we'll establish how a well is drilled, how it's cased, and then how it's cemented. Next, we'll look at well logging, and in well logging, we'll look at how tools are lowered into the wellbore to acquire information on the formation and the potential for hydrocarbon zones. And in our 7th area, we'll look at the characteristics of a well, particularly in terms of pressure and temperature. So let's have a look at the stages of drilling, and there's 3 stages to be aware of. First, we have exploration drilling. Now, during the initial phases of exploration, a wildcat well is drilled to check whether the reservoir rocks contain any oil or gas. Now, this can take up to 8 weeks and cost between $10 million and $60 million. Now, the success rate of a wildcat well having oil is around 1 in 4, 25%. The second type of drilling is appraisal drilling. Now, if hydrocarbons are discovered, a well test program is initiated and an appraisal well is drilled to assess the extent of the field, the reserves, the possible rate of production, and the properties of the oil or gas. Now, the third stage of drilling is production drilling. Now, if the field is considered viable, production drilling is carried out to create a flow path from the reservoir to the surface and then through the process facilities. Now, a key point here is that a specialist drilling company is contracted out by the oil company and usually carries out the drilling program. So let's have a look at drilling rigs. Now, the type of drilling rig used depends upon the size and the depth of the oil field and whether it's onshore or offshore. Now, the first type of drilling rig is what's known as a land rig. Now, land rigs are used for onshore oil production and they're easier to construct than offshore installations. The second type of rig we have is what's known as a fixed platform. Now, platform rigs are complete drilling rigs that are assembled on a production platform and may be temporary or permanent installations. The next type is what's known as a jackup rig. Now, jackups are the most common offshore bottom-supported type of drilling rig. Once on location, a jackup rig is raised above the water on legs that extend to the seafloor for support. Now, the fourth type is a semi-submersible, or what's known as a semi-sub. Now, semi-sub rigs can move to a location under their own power and are fixed either by anchors or positioning devices. Buoyancy chambers are pumped full of water to make the rig stable and sit lower in the water. When pumped out, the rig floats like a boat. Now, the next type is a drill ship. Now, drill ships are large ships designed for offshore drilling operations and can operate in deep water. They're built on traditional ship hulls like those used for supertankers and move from location to location under their own power. Now, the final type of drilling rig is a tension leg platform. Now, tension leg platforms consist of a structure held in place by tensioned tendons connected to the seafloor. And these platforms can be used in a water depth up to 2,000 meters.